Hi, have you ever considered yourself a do-it-yourselfer kind of person, but you're afraid to install a receptacle or mess with electrical? Well, today I'm here to use my 7 years of experience of 5 years schooling and on-the-job training. I've been an electrician. I went through an apprenticeship program, and I am now a journeyman electrician. So, first, to wire this receptacle up, you want to make sure this circuit is not hot, is not live with electric, because it will shock you if you do not check and it is live, and that is not good. So here, to install these receptacles the correct way, what we need to do is use this Romex here, non-metallic cable. Romex is a trade name, it's actually a brand name. This is 12-2, because I have a 20 amp circuit. This is 12-2 wire coming in and out. And this is coming from a GFCI receptacle. And that GFCI is protecting this. This is going to be 2 receptacles here, and then 2 more receptacles down the line as well. That GFCI is protecting all of them. So we need to cut this wire into 6-inch pieces here. So that's about the length of your palm and your finger here. So cut these 2. And you can pull the wire out usually from the end. And you have these pieces of wire then. Okay, so you need all 3 of each piece. This one's being a little bit stubborn. Okay. Yeah, once you get the first one, the rest come out easy. And what I'm using there is a side cutting pliers. Alright, now we got 3 wires out of each of those. We're going to cut these wires there should be a ground screw, because this is a metal box actually. But there's a ground screw slot. So I need to get a ground screw and put that in and bring that together with these ground wires. So then this box is grounded. Most boxes in a residential, you use plastic, and you don't have to ground those boxes. But since this is a metal box that I installed, I'm going to use that ground screw and ground this metal device box. And that's what you'll use in commercial work as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull the ground wire out of this. Which another way to strip this to get to the wire. Oh, that ends actually. You can cut that outer jacket apart. Alright, so you can just take this ground wire here, and what you do is you use your wire strippers. There's a hole in them, and you make a hook. And this is the same thing we're going to do for the receptacles. You see that? You just make a hook there. And then the ground screw will go inside of that, which I need to get a ground screw. I can attach that later. So if I put that flat up against the back, I'm going to cut all these wires the same length here. I'm going to put that right where the ground screw's going to go. And I'm going to cut all these wires just a little bit off. Cut them all flush here. About right there will do. Okay. So now the ground, I'm actually going to have all of these wired together. And when you do that, you just make sure that they're all the same spot here. And you always want to do the ground, wire the ground first, and then do the neutral, and then do the hot. That's just the safest way, safest order to do it in, because you want the circuit grounded well, everything grounded well first. So you twist it together, and then trim the end off so it's nice and flush. And then you take a wire nut and you stick it on the end. Okay, so this is going to go to the ground screw, and these other two will go to the two receptacles. Okay, and like I said, I'll put that ground screw in between videos. Next video, I'm going to show you how to actually wire up the receptacles. I got two receptacles going in here, so I needed two ground wires coming off. Alright, so now what we want to do is cut these wires. I'll cut a little bit off the end of these. So they're about 6 inches coming out of the box here. Now if that was hot, when I cut them all at the same time, that would have shorted it out and it would have blew a hole in my pliers. This is exactly what it would have done. I've seen many pliers with holes in them. So now these are going to strip it back about 1 inch each one. I'm going to do the neutral next. That's the white wire. Okay, so, oh, that one's a little bit short. Okay, there we go. Then you put these together, and you take your two wires you got earlier, strip those back 1 inch as well. Each of these, strip the jacket off about 1 inch there. You can see that. And then you put all these, you actually, on these ones, you line up the bottom jacket all together, like where you stripped it, because you're going to trim the ends off. So just line those all the bottoms up, and then twist them together. Okay? You can push them together with these. You want to get them as lined up as possible. And then twist them together, and then trim off the ends. So there's 1/2 to 3/4 at the most, depending on the wire nut. You want to make sure that this copper is completely covered by the wire nut when you put the wire nut on. And make sure the wire nut's nice and tight. What you do after you wire nut anything is you make sure that the connection's good. You pull on each wire. Okay? Now, there's your next receptacle. Your next wire. Spliced together. Ready to go for 2 receptacles. Now we do the same thing with this hot wire, the blacks, with the 2 tails here. And then, as you can see, we will have it all set up to wire up 2 receptacles. If you want to continue the video, I'm going to show you how to wire up these receptacles. I'm just going to take a quick break. Thank you, and I hope this helps save you time, money, and headache in the future, and it'll show you how to do this the right way. Now, the reason I'm doing this way and not taking my receptacle, this receptacle you can actually has 2 hots and 2 neutral screws. I could go through this receptacle to the next receptacle and then through that one to the next one. But then if this receptacle goes bad, so do the rest down the line. And that's not good. That's not a good way of doing it. What I'm doing is wiring these in parallel. So each receptacle has its own hot and neutral. So it's not going through this. If I have a lot of power being drawn down there, everything's going to be going through this receptacle. It'll burn it out quicker. It's harder on the receptacle as well. So this is the correct way to do it. Thank you. And always remember to be safe around electricity. Test your circuit before you work on it. Make sure it's off. All right, that's everything. Have a great day.